This week on Gymwright Live, we interview Bradley Schneller, and we learn how to not only throw a great event, but how to get a sponsor to foot the bill. Check it out. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Gymwright Live. I am your host, Marcus Gursey, and with me today we have the one and only Mr. Bradley Schneller. Bradley is the owner of Rue Fitness in beautiful New Orleans, and he is also one of our Gymwright growth specialists, works with a big chunk of our clients here at Gymwright, and we are excited to have you on the show, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Marcus.
Awesome, man. Been looking forward to it. We are going to be getting into some event-related things here today, and not your typical run-of-the-mill, hey, how do I throw a good event at my gym? But we're actually going to get into the details of how to throw a great event and what kind of events to throw, but more importantly, I think, how to get those events sponsored for by local businesses or businesses in general to obviously allow you to throw better events and all that good stuff. So before we get into any of that stuff, man, why do you think gym owners should care about this?
Well, gym owners should care about throwing events, because it's a cost-efficient way to bring awareness to your gym through the community, in addition to inviting more people to see your gym on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis that may not come in for just your regular, typical free intro session. On top of that, what if we got these events paid for by someone else?
Right. You know, throwing events, I think, is a big part of our culture if you're running a box. And, you know, I think people, for one, they underestimate the value and the impact that it can have when you do them really well. And I know that you guys at Rue, not only you guys throw really good events, but you guys throw them constantly. What kind of frequency you guys have with yours?
So we have 3 different events that we hold on a monthly basis. The first Saturday of every month is our all ladies workout. The third Saturday of every month is our all male workout. And the fourth Saturday of every month is our community workout. And we don't just say like, hey, this is a community workout, come join us. We throw a party. It's a big event. We try to make it a big deal about it. We create a Facebook invite list. And the cool thing is not only do we get people that haven't done CrossFit before, but we get people that are actually at other CrossFit gyms, which is really cool, or other functional fitness gyms, that they come in and get to see what we're all about.
Awesome. I think that's a good sign that you're doing it right. All right, so let's get right into the nuts and bolts of how to even do this. Where do you want to start, Bradley?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could start with creating an event that people want to come to first, and then we can move into the sponsorships later.
Perfect.
Cool. You know, it was probably about 2 years ago, you know, we started instilling all of these monthly events with the frequency at which we do it. We used to have a community workout like a lot of gyms do. There wasn't much pizzazz around it. And I was like, man, what can we really do to draw in the crowd here? So we started, because of our culture, we're from New Orleans. My gym, they tend to drink a lot. So we decided to start a Metcons and mimosas, which, you know, we did for the ladies. You know, it was like, nice. What female in South Louisiana doesn't like to drink a mimosa after a workout on a Saturday?
Okay,
right?
Good. So it's after a workout. You're not doing the, you're going to run your 400, come back, pound a mimosa, do handstand push-ups, throw all over the mat.
No, we did that, and then we had vomit all up and down the street, and so we kind of cut that out. Now we do it after the workout.
Smart.
So what we did is, you know, I've basically started footing the bill for 6 bottles of sparkling wine, a couple, you know, grapefruit juice and orange juice, and it's grown to 8, 9, 10 bottles of sparkling wine every month now. It was really neat, and the thing about it is, you know, we started it and we might have had 4 or 5 ladies that weren't in the gym. now we have 46, 50 people that attend this event, and
Wow.
half of them have never been to my gym before.
That's fantastic. So not only is this now getting really popular within your community, but it's actually serving the bigger purpose, which is extending into everyone's kind of social circles of influence and starting to bring all those people in and getting more eyeballs on your gym, your facility.
Yeah, and I mean, before we even started advertising it, after about 6 events, which was 6 months, all these little free community workout Facebook groups or blog spots started picking up our workout and advertising it for us. So now we're getting free advertising, you know, and people are sharing it all over the place, and we don't even have to do any of the legwork.
Awesome. So, all right, so we've got Metcons and mimosas. What are some other ideas for cool events to throw that you've seen get popular?
We do, for the guys, it's a wads and whiskey. Could be whatever you want, barbells and beers. We've also thrown some events for during Pride Week. We do a big gay workout. We did it with Outwad. We did it without them as well. That was really special. We had a ton of people in the community. We had 5 different CrossFit gyms participate in that. We turned that into a yearly thing. We did another event and all. It wasn't necessarily our Metcons and mimosas for females, but it was a female empowerment workout that we did as well. Any type of event, you know, is fantastic. And I'm talking about outside of your competition, because when you want to think about inviting people that either A, have never done CrossFit before, or B, never set foot in your gym, you want to take the intimidation factor away, make it fun, and make it as inviting as possible.
Sure. Okay, so now that we've, let's say, picked our event type, what's the next step?
Yeah. So the next step is bringing awareness to it. So there's 2 different ways you can create a Facebook event page, or you could do an Eventbrite and actually sell tickets, which I like because you collect the information. They have to basically, the difference between Eventbrite and Facebook is more of a mindset thing, right? Like it doesn't cost anything to attend our event, but with Eventbrite, they have to purchase a ticket, and it's more of making it a mental appointment with themselves rather than everybody on Facebook clicks, I'm interested, maybe I'll go, and then they don't really hold true to that. So it really holds their feet to the fire a lot more. It's a cooler page. It looks more official. That would be the best way to go about planning that.
Got it. Okay.
So create that Eventbrite page, start sharing it, bring awareness to it. That would be like kind of step number 2 after you plan something special.
Got it. Okay. So now what's next?
So after you plan it and we start bringing awareness to it, you know, I don't think really in the beginning you need to create any ads for it. That's something maybe later, or save that for special events. After you get it really hyped up is putting it on a really good event. So like I told you, it takes 6 months, you know, 9 months, 9 times doing it, 12 times doing it before it really builds up. It took a year and a half for our events to go crazy, right? So you have to be patient with yourself, but what you have to really do is, whether there's 2 people from outside the gym or 3 people or 10 people, the event has to be kick-ass every single time.
Right.
Okay. So you have to treat that event like this is the only event you're doing. It's this is what you live for the entire year, is making this event hype, making it a ton of fun, making sure every single person there, okay, is having a great time. And that's how you get repeat success. That's how it spreads like wildfire.
100%. It's like any event, whether it be a workshop or it's a Metcons and mimosas or a nutrition seminar. You are hosting an event. You are hosting a party. So you are the host. Make sure it's organized. Make sure everything is intentional. It is thought out. There's a plan for what's going to happen, a beginning, a middle, and an end, that you're personally connecting with everybody there, just like you would if you invited people over for a New Year's party. You're not just going to kind of hang out and hope everyone comes to you. You're going to make your rounds and spend 5 minutes with each person and connect and have a drink or have a good time. And these are the factors that you have to bring into that environment every single time. Not to mention, part of what we teach with our promo system with our clients is there is an intra-event promotion component that you have to honor, right? So it's not just put up the Eventbrite, promote it, get people to it, but while you're there has to be a plan to document that event, because the post-promotion phase after the event is done is super important, because you need to have the documentation of how awesome this event was. Even if you only had 10 people there, make it look like those 10 people had the best time ever, and you have the photos or the videos to prove it. So you want to go into it really intentionally from a documentation standpoint, so that all your hard work can be shared and showcased, so that you can start using that to continue to grow the event and promote the event, because the more assets you have showing how great it is, the easier it's going to be to start drawing people to it. You want to create some of that FOMO for the people who didn't attend the event. And that way, over those months, as you start to build the event, it's growing, because more people are realizing, hey, wait a minute, these events are actually really, really cool. I want to start going to this. I feel like I'm missing out on something important.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things you can do with that. One part of that you talked about, it took us a while to figure out. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to say this. It was kind of one of the things that was staring us right in the face, and we didn't do it. And then finally someone said, probably about 6 months ago, hey, why don't we start keeping like a sign-in sheet of who comes, so we can document what non-members are attending multiple events.
Sure.
And that's something we did. And then we enter those people that attend multiple events, into a special campaign that we have. They're a warmer lead than, someone just coming for their first time. And then, they're getting constant reminders of all our events. And then we hit them up for, hey, why don't you come to a weekly class? How's your gym experience going right now? And that's how we turn them into free intro sessions during the week, potential members.
100%. I mean, I'm going to slap you on the wrist here for not doing that from day one, but I think that is one of the most critical components to hosting an event, is making sure that you have either a sign-in sheet, or even better, if you can have someone at the front who's kind of greeting people as people are coming in and taking down their name and their email address and just saying, hey, welcome to what's your name? You hand them a little sticker or something, like you give them something so it feels like there's a reason to check in, if you will. And
I know
gather their contact info. Yep.
I know this sounds really simple or really aware, but a lot of people might just assume that, hey, we'll just go track the waivers. Mm-hmm. But once on your software, whatever software you use, but once someone comes one time and they sign the waiver, you're not going to ask them to sign a waiver again. So you really need to have a separate sheet to document all of that. The other thing you were talking about is the intro stuff. During the event, you should have someone there, maybe doing some Instagram live stories, going 100%. Facebook live.
Yep.
That should happen. And then if you took video clips throughout, you said you need to make a video and promote that, maybe add that to your social media calendar, for the following week, mm-hmm. maybe a fun Friday event or something like that.
And for those of you watching who are thinking, yeah, that sounds great, but I don't have a fancy DSLR camera or video camera and all the fancy production stuff, you don't need it. There are plenty of posts here in the network where we have broken down either really cost-effective microphone or lighting solutions that you can use your phone with that can create pro-looking video. It just takes a little bit of forethought as to what kind of shots you're going to get. Hold it landscape every time. Use the focus component. Don't, make sure lighting and you're not shooting from super far away. There are some basic tips that you can apply that can make your iPhone look like you are creating pro stuff, because all the magic happens with the editing after the fact. So whether you're working with someone like Monkey Reel and they're editing it together, or you've got yourself on your iMac or whatever, it is very easy to take the high quality stuff that we can now shoot with our phones and turn that into a fully produced looking video at the end. So
yeah, and
go ahead.
And Marcus, like, one of the things is something is better than nothing.
For sure.
So if you're the type of person that wants to wait till you get the best equipment or before I figure out how to edit an iMovie, don't. Just start. Start documenting the stuff because you're going to get better every time you do it. It's like when somebody wants to come to your gym and they're like, oh, well, I need to get fit before I can go do CrossFit. And you're like, no, you do CrossFit to get fit. It's the same thing with creating a video. Like, you just need to start. You will get better every time you do it.
Yep, 100%. Okay, so now we've started hosting our event. It's starting to get a little bit of traction. It's getting a little bit more polished every time. We're making sure that we're promoting it properly, both pre, intra, and then even post the event, so that we're creating a trail of documentation of all the good stuff. And are we ready now to start approaching sponsors with this?
Yeah. Yes. Totally. So
what's the first place to start with that?
Well, I'll tell you how we kind of got there is, I was doing these events for a year before I said, like, what if I didn't have to pay for the alcohol, right? Or, what if I could actually make money in this? What if I could get the alcohol paid, the food paid, and make money from this too? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we headed. So we started getting a following where, I had some real numbers where it's like, look, I have 45 women here for 3 hours on a Saturday with a captive audience. I think I can turn that to some actual dollars.
Sure.
Yeah. So the first thing I did is I started looking out, and kind of identifying what other companies in my area, are hosting events and are getting paid for it, right? Like, who out there is hosting an event similar to mine, and, are they getting paid for it? Are they selling sponsorship? How much are they selling their sponsorships for? Okay. And that was kind of like my first insight or inquiry into this entire, sponsorship sector. From there, it kind of went into, okay, what businesses would want to be in this space? What businesses would actually want to be in front of, 50 fit, healthy, minded women for 3 hours, or men, or whatever your audience is for that particular event.
Sure.
And so it was looking for those like-minded businesses or businesses that would be interested in these potential customers.
Got it. All right. So we got to identify, first of all, do a little bit of research on who is doing what you're trying to accomplish successfully already, right? To see maybe what they're doing and maybe who's even sponsoring those events. But then next, making a list of businesses that are potential targets for sponsorship opportunity, right?
Yep. And it's not just like, you can't go at this halfway. You need to look at this and say, what can we bring this business? Okay. And what can this business bring our event? Sure.
It's a two-way street. You don't want something that's irrelevant to your audience. You don't want to get McDonald's to sponsor your event. Right. Just because they're willing to write you a check doesn't mean that's a good idea, because it's going to go against the value system that you were trying to instill in your culture. So it is important to find not just businesses that you can provide value to, but like you said, that are going to provide value to your audience. So, okay, so we've got our list of people. It's a win-win. Let's say we've narrowed it down to 10 good candidates. What is the next step for you?
Yeah. So the next step for me would be putting together some stats analytics that we can present those businesses, to show them what they would be getting by partnering with us for this event.
Right. So for those of you watching, we're going to go through a couple of tools that Bradley's built for exactly this. Because what you're talking about, Bradley, is actually putting together a sponsorship deck, right? So we basically want to put together what would be a small presentation, a PDF, or a PowerPoint or whatever, slide deck basically that you can use to sell the event, the qualities of the event, what they get out of it. And I know for those of you watching this, Bradley is going to actually provide these tools for you to check out, and you can literally use it as is, rework it with your logo and your information and so on. So Bradley, walk us through the deck.
Yep. So the first thing would be to go ahead and have what the event is, okay, along with, the company that you're going after. So you want to customize it to each local business. It's no different than if you were in a sales job and you were sending a sale proposal to your company. Okay. The next part of the deck would be, what are some fun facts about the event that you're producing, your business, and this would be like the analytics part. It could include demographics. It will include your social media impressions for the event, how many followers you have on Instagram, how many followers you have on Twitter, how many followers you have on Facebook, your audience, okay, what that looks like, and then what they would be getting with that. You know, like, hey, we produce 2 advertising social media videos, promotional videos for this event. We would be mentioning you in each video. Each video generally sees 10,000 views on each video, and you would list all those stats.
Right. And on the deck that you shared, you've got Facebook like, Instagram followers, the percentage of male versus female, percentage of college educated, percentage of household income over 100K, then percentage of household income over 150K, the average impressions per event. This is really important stuff that I think people kind of glaze over, and they're like, hey, we're going to throw an event. We're a CrossFit gym, or we're, a boutique facility with, 100 members. We'll probably have X amount of people there. They kind of leave, don't you want to sponsor it? And they just kind of leave it at that. But you got to look at what's in it for them, right? What are the data points that are going to appeal to them, and make sure you list it out, make it look good. And then go ahead.
Yeah. For example, one of our next kinds of mimosas, we got a local nail polish company to sponsor the event. What does nail polish have to do with CrossFit? It doesn't, but it does have to do with 50 females that are at our gym, right?
Sure.
They're local. They actually named a nail polish color after our gym.
Really?
Based off of the event. Yeah, it's called Rue Rouge. So it was a red. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep. And so what we did with that is, one of the demographics we showed is like, hey, our gym is 65% female. They particularly do this. They, showing their income, the household income shows their buying power. If we were doing a guys event, we might tailor the deck towards what our male statistics are in the gym. So everything needs to be tailored towards the company that you're looking to partner with.
Love it. So then you've got the sponsorship deliverables, right? Which is what happens, basically what they get out of being a sponsor, right?
Yeah. So, that could arrange, that's totally customizable to what you want to do with your event. But it could be like exactly what I said before. You get 2 videos. You're going to have, depending on what the sponsor is and what the event is, they might get a 15-minute talk before we start. We recently did an event with Ragged Branch Distillery for one of our wads and whiskey. They brought all the whiskey, they paid for all the catering or the food, and they cut us a check for $1,200.
Nice.
We had 50 guys. We really did it right. We actually have a video on our Instagram feed. I believe you have the video as well.
Yep.
Where we documented the entire thing. And we got the owner of the distillery to give a 10-minute, 15-minute talk, and then we had some Q&A, which we kind of substituted our icebreaker for the group with that. And then we also did a session after where you could have a special tasting with him at a table, and he would talk about his company. Well, that's worth a lot of money for him to sit, talk about his company with each individual person for 5-10 minutes.
No kidding. For a company like that, we as the gym owner think, man, we got a steal. We got the free whiskey. We got the catering covered. We got, made our event super cool, and not to mention a check for $1,200. But you got to remember what that means to them. They're thinking, do you know how much money we spend on advertising or putting on, a whatever kind of event on their own? They're going to spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to get that caliber and of focused attention from a very narrowed down target audience, right? That is priceless. So for them, they're thinking this is a steal. So just like how when we teach how to sell a membership, you got to remember the real value that you're providing whoever's on the other end of this conversation. And then when you're putting this stuff together, really think about, go into this confidently. You've got a very high quality member of society here with someone who is willing to spend money on things that they're interested in. They trust you. You've got a focused place where you're bringing everyone together. It is a really high value opportunity for your local business.
And we were really smart about this too. So,
Of course you
know,
will.
in that deck, when we talk about deliverables and what we're going to promise the company or what we're going to give them in exchange for their either money or goods or service, we paired this male event on the Saturday before Father's Day and did it as like an ode to fathers. And what we told the company is not only, you know, would they get to talk and stuff like that, but we would sell their whiskey in our gym, which you can get away with on special occasions, okay? And it wasn't actually us. We weren't gaining any profit from it. But as a promotional thing for them and package it as like Father Day packages. And they loved the idea. They ran with it. That's how we promoted it, and it was huge.
Awesome.
I think they sold 30 bottles of whiskey.
Beautiful. All right, so we've got our event. We've got a few under our belt. Now we've put our deck together. How are you going and even approaching these companies? What's that process look like step by step?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways. We have actually just physically called companies or visited them. Like, you know, when we talk about door knocking for membership, you can door knock for advertising. When we call these companies, say like, hey, you know, we have a great idea, and I call it, you know, partnering up with them. Like, here's the way we can partner to both promote our businesses, which will bring us both success. We're in negotiations right now to do it with an anti-aging clinic. And so it's a lot of conversations back and forth. I text the owner, I call the owner, but it's no different than selling a membership and following up. There's some other ways to handle this too. Like, a lot of communities are going to have local business civic associations, or they'll have a neighborhood civic association or a neighborhood association that has business sponsorship. And now you can get in front of like a civic association and talk about your businesses, meet the other businesses in that civic association, and see how you can partner up to bring success to both.
Awesome. Right on. Okay, so what's next?
Yeah. So from there, okay, after you go ahead and sell them the sponsorship, okay, what you have to do is really deliver exactly how you sold it. Okay, you can't miss a beat here. And one of the things here is after the event, okay, you have to go ahead and keep promoting them. And I don't mean like onward and onward and onward, but you want to do like an outro or an event recap, and use their name again and again and again, and then build that relationship for future events as well. So, I mean, it's not that much. Once you sell the package, you get them in, you build them, you build up the event, you crush it with them there. You give them a list of all the people that attended the event. So now they have their own, kind of contact list after as well as you. And that's really valuable for them as well. Like,
Sure.
You're not just giving them eyes on their goods or services, but you're also giving them actual names, email addresses, and phone numbers.
Perfect.
And really after that, it's just rinse and repeat.
Got it. Okay, so one thing I remember you were saying is about not over-promising, right? Not guaranteeing, like, hey, you're going to get X amount of sales or anything like that. What's been your experience with that?
Yeah, so like that's one thing. That's our no-go zone. Is we do not guarantee anything. We don't tell them like, hey, you're going to pick up this many customers, because you don't know that. And if you guarantee something and it doesn't deliver, like, you're done.
Right.
Okay. You're done with them. It's going to spread like wildfire. No one's going to advertise with you. So it's all about building their brand awareness. We talk all the time in Gymwright, about building the brand of the gym, creating brand awareness. And that's a lot of what these events are about. Like, the bigger your brand is, the more likelihood of someone coming to your gym and stopping in for that free intro session. It's the same thing with these companies. We're about building their brand, creating brand awareness, and that's what our statistics are, and the event is for. So, after that too, one of the things that I left off that is probably one of the most important things, okay, is going ahead and writing your sponsor or your advertiser a thank you note. Okay. That's pretty huge. You want to show them how appreciative you are of them sponsoring your event and being a part of it. So, that's a big part of it. And then also, like, look, not every event is going to be awesome. Okay. You're going to learn from your events, but you have to figure out what you did, what worked, what didn't work, and build on that every time.
And just to kind of rewind back a step here, are you just sending a handwritten note? Are you sending them a picture or like pictures from the event? Or are you sending them any sort of a gift as a thank you?
Yeah, so, I mean, in our past, what we've done is we've shared all the pictures we've taken with them. We create the video for them. They can use it at their disposal. It's co-branded. It has our logo watermarked on it and their logo watermarked on it. But as far as the thank you, we don't really send a gift. It's just a handwritten thank you note on our gym stationery. And that goes a long way, believe it or not. I doubt any other company that they're advertising with is sending them a thank you note.
Yes, you're probably right. Okay, very good. So I know we're going to be sharing the deck and some notes with this post here within a few days. If you're watching this and you have questions, feel free to put them into the comments below. Whether we'll be able to address them here live today, or we'll answer them for you after the fact. Just tag myself, Marcus Gersey, or Bradley Schneller in the comment, and we'd be happy to answer the question for you. So that said, Bradley, anything else you want to add to this, or any advice you want to give any of the folks watching us today?
No, I mean, it's really simple, guys. Just be unique, be engaging, and then care about not only your sponsor, but the people at your event. You do those three things, and it'll be a success every single time.
Love it, man. Where can people find more about you?
Yeah, at Bradley Schneller on Instagram. You could also do at CrossFit Rue and at Rue Fitness on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. Right on, man. Well, thank you very, very much, Bradley, for being on the show today. I think you shared some extremely valuable information for our gym owners. Thank you for everything that you do with Gymwright. And for those of you watching, be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.